just a little bit about myself. I am Clayton Wood, the co-founder of Seamlss, and I'm also an accounting firm owner in that I own and run Business Edge Advisors. Been around for over 11 years. And yeah, Seamlss was born out of the need for my own issues in the accounting firm, in regards to having lack of standardization of data collection and onboarding. So challenges with the end of financial year data collecting and re-engagement. So re-engaging can be quite time consuming. Sometimes the lack of standardized processes. Sometimes it's in various apps, so clients are constantly jumping between different apps. And one of the main things that I always had trouble with was there's no data confirmation. There's no way to confirm clients' details all in that one process of doing the engagement letter. Usually it was either a piece of paper in the office, maybe you send it out on e-signing platform, and or if someone was doing it at all on a continual annual basis. In our firm, we do use Ignition, so we are using Ignition to do proposals and collect money and sign engagement letters during that, but not every client is on our Ignition proposal, so therefore we still utilize Seamlss. For today's demo, I'll jump straight in and get started. So this is the Seamlss dashboard. As you can see on the right-hand side, we've got the re-engagement part of the dashboard up. You can see that Barney is overdue. As far as re-engagement is concerned, we can review and send him for re-engagement just using the button, or we can delay and skip it. So if for some reason we weren't ready to call in Barney's, we could delay it for a specific date or a month or forever. If we were, maybe he left us for some reason, he didn't want to, or maybe we just delay it for a couple of weeks and then he'll move down the bottom here. You can see it's due in 15 days. So we've got a little bit of management tool there to get us started in Seamlss with managing your re-engagements. Again, if you wanted to delay or skip it, you could just delay it for 12 months or skip it altogether. On the flip side, perhaps it's time to call in Clayton's job because he's going to get his work done. He usually gets it done in August. So obviously that's when the re-engagements come up in overdue. Sorry, it should come up in a couple of days normally. But if you want to re-engage Clayton, what's going to happen is he's going to get an engagement template. He's going to confirm his details. You can add a new entity if you had a new entity because you can do that on the fly with Seamlss. You can add forms, as we discussed yesterday, around collecting extra data when you're re-engaging the client. You can also use the ITR tool. Here's the engagement letter, so you can select that. You can have one or many engagement letters, and you can save and send. When you click send, that will send him an email. You get a link, he signs in, signs the engagement letter. With the engagement letters, I will show you where they are. They are here in the document area. You can add, edit these all you like. You can copy and paste them from your different apps, Word, or whatever app it is you're using for engagement. Copy and paste it into here. There is a bunch of different tokens you can utilize to sprinkle throughout the document to pre-populate it, and then they can sign the engagement letter at the end. So on the flip side, I've had a few people add clients and then they haven't been able to turn on the engagement. Or I know with us at our firm, sometimes a client will be a client, they'll leave, they'll come back, but they're still on the system and they're not active for a re-engagement. So in this case, it says that they're new and you're like, well, I can't re-engage it. How do I get them to re-engage so I can get the permission to add them back to the portal? Click on the edit button, mark them as active, save it. And now when you refresh, you'll be able to see that you can use the re-engage button and then you can re-engage that client. So there's a few different little tips and tricks there on re-engaging your clients. I think the main thing that I wanted to show today was around that end of year process and just thinking about how you're performing this on a regular basis. The reason why what we're doing in our firm is when we're calling a client's job in or when the job gets dropped off, so sometimes the clients will drop off their paperwork. Unfortunately, some of our clients still have paper and folders. So when they drop them off, it's up to the admin team to send off the re-engagement and get the client to confirm their details. So Clayton Wood will confirm his details and his entities. If for some reason, maybe it's a trust with a trustee company, so you don't need to confirm the trust details, you've got the trustee entity, you can untick them and they won't confirm the details. On the flip side, as per yesterday's, you could collect some data as well if you wanted to. But in this case today, I'm just going to get him to confirm his details and sign the engagement letter. Save and send for re-engagement. That will send off Clayton an email. He'll get the link, clicks on the link, gets an SMS and logs in. The status has now changed to actively re-engaging. You can see there's an active request up here to re-engage. I'm going to flip the screen and go in as a client. So I'm now in Clayton's screen. You can see the re-engagement request. If Clayton had clicked on the email and logged in, he would have been taken straight to this screen here. As you can see, it's asking, have these details changed? So Clayton can confirm and update his details. In this case, my details are the same. They haven't changed. I'm going to continue on. With the business, we moved addresses. We're now in High Street in Wodonga. Sounds like a crazy move, but it happened. So we're going to update these details, save that. Thanks. Continue on. So now we're on to the next entity. This one, it didn't change, and that's fine. So we're going to save and continue. And then we're going to get to the engagement letter. Again, this will be based on whatever you have in your template. Sign it. We can draw it. Sign it in there. And then confirm the signature. There's the signature. Complete it. So now that's signed. And then the client can go in and download the document. Click on the button. And then there's the engagement letter. And they can just save it for their own records if they want. And it's all signed and stamped there for you. All done. I'm going to flick back across to the firm view now, and you can see that Clayton has completed the re-engagement process here. Re-engage on the 4th. I'm going to mark that as done. I'm going to view it. So as an admin team member, once the job is complete, it's not fully complete yet. Clayton's signed his engagement letter. Yes, the document's in there. Yes, I can view the file. I can download the file. I can file it away, whatever I want to do with that engagement letter. But what the other thing I want to do is push the updates into Xero Practice Manager. If you're not using Xero Practice Manager, you could download it through the data center as a CSV and import it to your other app, or copy and paste. Now, I didn't add a new company. So here's my new company. It's the cookie company. There's the address. I'm going to sync that as a new entity to the ignition. It's already in there. This is always winning for a new day. Sync this one. So if I sync this, now the client's in there, and then it's updated in XPM. If it was a current client and it was matching, much like the individual, you could push or pull or do nothing with the updates. The idea is that if the address is different, you can update and push the differences up into Xero Practice Manager, updating the addresses. Ideally, you want to have the latest up-to-date addresses in XPM so that when you're sending the tax return out, it's got the right addresses. So think about the process in your firm. If the client's work is going to be either called in or they've dropped their jobs off, you send it out, you've confirmed the details, you've got a signed engagement letter, you're going to start the job, you're going to get paid for the job because you've got the signed engagement terms and conditions, they've got the latest update information for you. Then at the end of the job, when you're sending the tax returns out, they've got the right address and details in because you've collected them, confirmed them, because the admin team's done that for you on the outside. It's not like any of us on the call today would have ever sent out a tax return with the wrong bank details or address. That's just not how we roll. We're accountants, we're the trusted advisors. So that's how that works. Obviously, with the re-engagement, a lot of people need to get the data in to Seamlss as well. So what you can do is search for your clients, and they will come in through the data center. You can add the individual to Seamlss, and then you can attach their entities. Then you can go in, find the client, and send them for re-engagement as well. So there's a few different ways to re-engage your clients with Seamlss. One is through the upcoming re-engagement dashboard here. You can go into the client when the jobs come in, and you can also go into the data center, add the client, and then re-engage them through that. The idea with the re-engagement with Seamlss for me was all about creating that rinse and repeat process around confirming client details, making sure tax returns always have the current bank and address details. And yeah, that's the main parts I wanted to get across today. Do we have any questions? There's a bunch of AI things in there. If you've unticked entities, they don't have to confirm the details. Do the entities still show on the engagement letter? Yes, the entities will still show on the engagement letter. I assume that is probably Cameo. Let me know if you think that we should turn that off. I think that by default, they're signing all the entities every time. If you didn't want them to sign, like if you wanted to remove them, you could obviously go into the entities and delete the entity. So you could just delete it out of here, and that would remove it from Seamlss. I will, if anyone thinks that we should be not signing the engagement letter with all the entities from that process, e.g. Cameron, don't turn it off. That's what we want. Excellent. I thought it was a wise move, because if you didn't want them to engage in these entities, delete them out. Like, why are they in the system? Because ideally, the number one reason why I do it this way, like I said, I have Ignition. We use Ignition in my practice. Most of the time, or sometimes, I forget to add entities. So they might have a trust with a trustee company. So I'm engaging the trust and getting paid for doing the trust financials and tax returns, but I didn't actually put the trustee company in Ignition to get the engagement letter signed. So at least I know in Seamlss they're all listed and they're all signed. Do we have any other questions to wrap up today? I think I've kept it well to 15 minutes. Excellent. Doesn't appear to be. If you've got any feedback or any questions with Seamlss, by all means, jump on board and let us know. And if you need any help, there is the big old help button up here, and it's all there for you. Thanks everyone for attending today. Hopefully you got some value and you'll be able to re-engage and confirm clients' details with ease going forward. Again, I think that this is something that you should be handballing off to the admin team that they can manage and do on your behalf if you're not a solo practitioner. Thanks everyone for attending, and see you again soon. Thanks.